Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the special edition of the Archie Tech Experiment. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. This is what I was talking about in the last episode. This is my special edition. As you can see, I am outside. I'm never outside. I'm outside, live and direct, reporting live from the nation's capital. So while I was riding through Washington, D.C. a couple days ago, I felt inspired in light of the justice reform conversations that have been going on to tell my story and my experiences with the justice system. When I got out here, there was a lot of protests going on, which it was related to the Ukraine and Russia situation, which I totally respect. That it's not as important to me as justice reform here at home in America, but I can't see that that could get a little out of hand. But it kind of threw me off a little bit. It kind of threw my vibe off because, it's kind of tacky to be talking about justice reform while everyone else is worried about. But I'm still going to do it. Judgment. And so I wanted to insert my story into the conversation of justice reform and our criminal justice system as it is. So my story basically begins when I was 17 years old, and there was a street fight with between teenagers, and one of the kids unfortunately got stabbed, which is a tragedy. I did not do the actual stabbing, but because I was a part of the fight, I was charged with assault first, conspiracy to assault first, and attempted murder. I was gonna take it to trial. I ended up pleading guilty under the Alford Doctrine. If you're not familiar with law, the Alford Doctrine says that you're not admitting to guilt, but you're saying that you would not fare well at trial, that you think that there will be enough evidence to convict even though you don't feel like you're guilty. So I pled guilty under the Alford Doctrine, and I was sentenced to 12 years suspended after 4 to serve with 5 years probation. I was 18 when I was sentenced. I was 22 when I was released. I caught a petty nonviolent charge after my release, and I had to go back to prison for 3 more years, which if it wasn't for that charge, that original assault first charge, I would not have gotten any time at all. So, and on top of that, I was treated like a violent offender. I went to a level 4 maximum security prison like a violent offender. Also, I had to do 85% of my time like a violent offender, all for a new non-violent charge, only because I was still on probation for a violent charge that I committed when I was 17 years old. After that 3 years, I was released, and a couple years later, more minor drug charges, and I was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. Again, a level 4 maximum security prison, and 85% of my time had to be done before I was considered to be released because of a charge that I committed when I was 17 years old. So I was in prison well into my 30s doing time for a crime that I committed when I was 17 years old. And this is not a unique thing with just me. This is what's happening all over the country. And it is ironic that I'm here in the nation's capital with a sitting president who I don't have issues with, except that he did orchestrate the crime bill. And I don't think that they're doing enough, as he promised he would during his campaign, to overturn those mistakes that he admitted that he made at getting the crime bill voted in. So I think that all this stuff about the Ukraine, and it is unfortunate what they're going through. It's nothing that we could do about that. We have to take care of home and get these things done, because there's so many people that are facing an unjust justice system and that are trapped inside of an unjust justice system, and that system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. So I think that we should just focus on who we're voting for, and really take the time to think things through, because the way things are right now is very unfair. American citizens are being treated very, very, very unfairly.